Hello and welcome to The United Stand. This is your Manchester United transfer news daily where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. Sandro, everyone keeps asking about him, which pleases me because I think it's easy to talk about Milinkovic-Savic, Bale, Alderweireld, Ronaldo and all that lot because they are big status signings. But the reality is a lot of United fans are really interested in Sandro because they know that that left-back position is really important. I said it the other night. If Ashley Young's our left-back next season, doesn't matter what else we do, I don't think we can win the title with Ashley Young at left-back because he's right-footed, he's not very good defensively and he doesn't provide any balance. Sandro, left-footed, good defensively, good going forward and balance. And a lot of people, a lot of United fans are on about Sandro because they really do feel that that is a position we need to improve on. We'd like to see Luke Shaw there, but Mourinho, even if he keeps Luke Shaw, I still think Young would be first choice. So what's the latest on Sandro? Well, he's been wanting to leave Juventus for a couple of years now. Certainly last year, I believe, his form wasn't great because he wants to leave. Juventus want him to stay. The latest news is that Juventus want to pay him quite a lot of money to stay, talking up to 5 million to keep him at the club for another 5 years on a new contract, which will make him one of the top earners there. I'll be surprised if Sandro signs that because it seems he wants to leave. But the concern is, are United in for Sandro? It's gone very, very quiet on him. Are United in for Sandro? Because if he wants to leave, then surely that's a simple deal for us to do. And there was an article yesterday that slightly concerned me because it was about Mourinho potentially being concerned. And this is only paper talk, and I think it was something in something like the Express, so it could be total nonsense. But it was something along the lines of Mourinho is concerned because Fred, Alderweireld and Delat will cost about £100 million. If they then get Bale at 120 million, that's his transfer fee, that's his transfer budget gone, no left back, no other midfielder. And Mourinho's a little bit concerned about that. Well, exactly, no left back. We need to get that left back deal done. It doesn't matter whether Luke Shaw stays, Ashley Young stays. We still need a really top class left back, and Sandro needs to be that. Now, there also is this story that Juventus would be willing to let Sandro go if United let them have Martial. Well, sit down, Juventus. You're not having Martial. You're not having Martial as part of an Sandro deal. That's a bad deal for Manchester United. But Sandro is a player who, on the face of it, looks like he wants to leave Juventus. Manchester United need a left-back. Whether you like Luke Shaw like I do or not, we need a left-back. And Sandro is a deal we should be looking to do. And you know what? If the budget's 200 million and we can't afford him, make the budget 250 million pounds because we need to get a player of that quality. It will provide total balance to our side, and a left-footed left-back who can cross would be absolutely fantastic. So we do need to do that. Staying in Italy, let's talk about Milinkovic-Savic. Barely a day goes by without us speaking about him. So I think it was in the Calcio Mercato, which is an Italian outlet, who quoted another Italian outlet that Manchester United have had a bid rejected for Milinkovic-Savic by Lazio. It was rumoured to be around £91 million with 14 million euros in bonus and a 10% fee based on his salon value. Rejected. Now, I'd be encouraged by that. I would be encouraged if we have had a deal rejected for Milinkovic-Savic. But remember, Di Marzio only said about a week or two ago that United are monitoring the situation with Milinkovic-Savic. They're excited about it, but they haven't made a bid yet. So unless we've done that in the last couple of weeks, it doesn't look like it. And the bad thing about Milinkovic-Savic, unlike Fred, is he doesn't have a release clause. So Shakhtar Donetsk will be happy to let Fred go before the World Cup because they're not going to get any more money out of it. And actually, Fred's not a first teamer for Brazil anyway, so it doesn't bother. It doesn't really impact on them whether they get that deal done early or not. In relation to Lazio, they don't want to sell Milinkovic-Savic. They probably know he's going to go because they haven't got Champions League football, but they want to eke every little bit of money they can. They want as many clubs as possible coming in and bidding for him, and they want him to play in the World Cup before they let him go because the value is going to go up and up and up. What's Milinkovic-Savic worth? 80 million. Anything above that is a risk and he's not worth it. But you pay what the market dictates. There's no way Ousmane Dembele was worth 135 million. Barcelona paid it. There's no way that Coutinho was worth what he was worth, but it was paid. And when you've got an asset that everybody wants, the value goes up and up and up. And that's the problem with Milinkovic-Savic. But as I've said countless times, I think that's the deal that defines our summer. If we get him, I'm confident about next year. If we don't get him, I'm wondering where's this gap being closed? Because we need a midfielder. And I know Bale or Ronaldo or Griezmann would be a real marquee, great signing. But we all know the midfield's the problem. And Fred alone won't improve that. We need to get Milinkovic-Savic. I hope we can do it. Talking about midfield, if Fred comes in, Vidal, we're not going to get Milinkovic-Savic, but Vidal has said, I've got a year left on my contract. I'm relaxed. I know I'm being talked about a lot of clubs, but I'm relaxed with my situation at the moment, and that's Vidal. Vidal was mentioned to Manchester United a couple of months ago. The Chilean effect, maybe him coming to United would help Alexis Sanchez. I've always been a big fan of Arturo Vidal. I'm surprised that Jose Mourinho... Well, I'll be very surprised if Jose Mourinho wasn't a fan of his. I think he's 31 now. He's a definite short-term signing. If I want Milinkovic-Savic over Vidal. I want Toni Kroos over Vidal. But if we're not getting Milinkovic-Savic and we're running out of options, then Vidal would become an interesting one. Interestingly enough, around Bayern Munich, reported from Germany yesterday that Bayern Munich will listen to offers for Vidal, for Boateng and Thiago. Now, Thiago is a player I would welcome at Manchester United. He should have been a Manchester United player. David Moyes messed that up. Took too long and he went to Bayern. So Thiago is a player I would take. I don't think we'll go for Thiago. Boateng, keep an eye on Boateng because we're talking about Alderweireld, we're talking about, Umtiti and all this, that and that, the other. But Boateng actually would tick a lot of boxes. He plays left-sided centre-back. You've got Bay on the right-sided centre-back situation. Very experienced. Very old. Well, not very old, but older. He's around the 30 age group, isn't he? So he would be a short-term signing. I wouldn't be surprised if we went for something like that. Might fit in with the sort of signing that Jose Mourinho would want to make. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Bayern Munich, 3 decent players there. What would you go for? Would you fancy that? I mean, Thiago, I would like. Vidal of 2-3 years ago would have been perfect for what United need. In the current market, I just think we need to go a little bit more dynamic and less injury prone, and the 29, 30, 31-year-olds always worry me. In fact, Vidal, I really like Vidal, but it reminds me a little bit of the Schweinsteiger deal. I got really excited about it and it backfired, didn't it? So we shall have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see with that. But I do feel that there is going to be a deal coming in soon, whether it's Dalot, whether it's Fred. We are approaching the weekend now. Brazil are obviously playing in Liverpool on Saturday. Will the deal be done before it? I think the closer you get to that game, the less likely it's going to get done before. I've always felt Monday, Tuesday with that. Alex Sandro's not part of it. That deal should be done. I look at what City are doing. They're very nearly announcing Mahrez and Jorginho. I look at what Liverpool are doing. They're trying to get Fekir done before the World Cup. They've already got Fabinho done. They're 2 good signings for those 2 clubs that are potentially rivals for us. And we've done nothing. And we've not played for 3 weeks now. FA Cup was 3 weeks ago, wasn't it? So what are we doing? Why are we not getting people out the door and in the door? Because we've got more in and out to do than anybody. If Man City signed 2, we've got to sign 5 just to do what they've done and then improve on what they did last year. And we've got to get people out the door as well. So I'm not panicked, as I said yesterday. I'm not panicked by a long way because things can happen very quickly. But I would expect, with the World Cup 2 weeks to go, I would have expected us to at least be doing at least 3 or 4 deals in the next couple of weeks. And if we do that, it's fine. The last 3 weeks don't matter. But we can't be going through these 2 weeks and not having anything happening. It needs to happen. The big deals, the Milinkovic-Savic's, the Bales, the Griezmanns, whether they're going to happen or not, they're not going to happen before the World Cup. And I'm relaxed about that. But there are deals like Sandro, like Fred, like Dalot, like Darmian out, like Blind out, like Fellaini out. Those 6 deals, they can be done before the World Cup. And maybe even the centre-back, if it's going to be Alderweireld, if it's going to be Boateng, they could be done as well before the World Cup. So we need to see some progression with Manchester United over the next week for sure. Anyway, lots and lots for you to talk about. Would you let Martial go for Sandro? Would you do that deal with Juventus? Do you think Sandro's going to come? Are you worried it's gone a little bit quiet? Vidal, Thiago, Boateng. Who would you take from Bayern Munich? They're apparently all for sale. Milinkovic-Savic. Is it good that we've put a bid in? Do you think he is going to end up at United? Lots to discuss. Please do drop a like on the video. Get your comments in below. And I'll speak to you all soon. Hopefully we'll be going live with a deal soon.